Namaste everyone. Let's start the class with a short prayer of Gita Dhyanam and then we'll chant the mantras of Bhagavad Gita from second chapter 51st mantra till 60th mantra and then we'll see the explanation part. ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्यतित्तदिश्यति तदा गन्तांसि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि। अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव स्थितधि किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत व्रजेत किं। श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीमुनिरुच्यते यः सर्वत्र नाभीस्ते हस्तप्यशुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। यदा संहरते चायं कूर्माङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता। विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्ज्यं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते यततो ह्यपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः। Okay, we are done with the chanting part. Now we'll see the explanation of each and every mantra. Since I have already done with the chanting, I'll just read the mantra and we'll see the explanation part. कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गत्यन्तनामयम्. Here Krishna is saying, Krishna said to Arjuna, what he said was, O Arjuna, the wise person who is endowed with the karma yoga attitude. Karma yoga attitude means accepting everything with the prasada buddhi, even though it is happiness or sadness, even though it is whatever issue it may be, accepting everything as a ishwararpana buddhi and with no without any denial, accepting everything as a ishwararpana buddhi and going through all the, whether it is a problem or a safe mode, accepting everything and then moving forward. That is a karma yoga attitude. Here, Krishna was saying to Arjuna that, O Arjuna, the wise person who is endowed with Karma Yoga attitude, having given up the result of an action. Result of an action means whether it is if you have done, if the person who has done good actions, then he will get the result of good action, that is a punya phala. If he has done a bad actions, then he will get a papa karma, papa phala. So it depends on the whatever actions they have done. So here Krishna was saying, O Arjuna, the wise person who is endowed with that karma yoga attitude, having given up the result of an action, will be definitely free from the bondage of samsara. What is this bondage of samsara? Bondage of samsara means this life and death. uh, for example, let's a person will be born, and again he will go through, whether it is all the tough situations and happy situations, everything, and then he will be dead, and again he will be reborn, and again he will be dead. This cycle of birth and death, this is called as a bondage of samsara. So so if the so he, Krishna was saying to Arjuna that, oh Arjuna, if the people who has done, who is going with this going in this karma yoga attitude, they will definitely free from this bondage of samsara, and again they will get the moksha, which is the ultimate liberation. So what his intention was, Krishna's intention was, Arjuna has to give up all this shoka and this anger and everything, and then he will be free from all this bondage of samsara, and he should proceed with the fight in the battle, and then he should win the battle. That's what Krishna's intention was. That's why he was explaining all this to Arjuna. We'll move to the next mantra. यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्युतिर्तरिष्यति तदा गन्तांसि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च. Here Krishna is continuing what he said to Arjuna was, O Arjuna, when your intellect crosses the impurity of delusion, currently you are in the under the impurity of delusion, you are under shoka that in this battle all your relatives and then acharyas and your family members are there, that's why you are unable to fight in this battlefield. So that delusion, you should cross over this impurity of delusion, then you will definitely gain this dispassion towards what you have heard and what is yet to be heard. Till now I have been explaining you all these things. Currently you are under delusion, which is totally impure. So you will definitely gain the dispassion towards all these things, and what you have heard from me and what you will be hearing from me. So I am still going to explain you all these things. So you will definitely get a dispassion, don't worry Arjuna. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. We'll move to the next mantra. Shruti vipratipanna te yada stasyati nishchala samadha vachala buddhihi stada yogama vapsasi. Still Krishna was saying to Arjuna that, O Arjuna, when your mind is no longer distracted by Vedas, and you will be remain steady. So currently your mind is totally under delusion, and you are shaking, and then you are saying with all this shoka words with all the shoka. So you should cross over all these things, and you should remain steady. You should remain steady and firm within yourself. Then only self knowledge is possible. Whatever I am saying you all these things, this knowledge will be possible to you only when you stay steady by overcoming all this delusion. When you establish this firmness within yourself, then only this self knowledge is possible. Otherwise it is impossible for you. You will remain like this only. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. We'll move to the next mantra. Arjuna Uvacha स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव स्थितदीकिं प्रभाषेते किमासीत व्रजेत किम. Now Arjuna is saying, so Krishna said all these words to Arjuna. Now what Arjuna has replied, we'll see now. Arjuna said to Krishna that, "O Krishna, I have some queries. What is the description of a person of self wisdom? You are saying about the self knowledge is possible only when I overcome all this delusion and all. What exactly is this person of self wisdom? What is this Krishna? And whose mind is abides within the self, and whose mind is unshaken by anything? What exactly is the self wisdom? How does such a person speak, sit, and work? So please explain me clearly." That's what Arjuna asked to Krishna. Now, what Krishna replied, we'll see in the next mantra. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Partha Manogatan Atmanyev Atmana Tushtaha Sthitapragnasya Tadochyate. Now Krishna replied. Krishna replied that, "O Arjuna, when a person give up all the desires, whatever desire he has, whether it may be through any object or by any person, any desire it can be. When a person give up all the desires as they appear in the mind, then only he will be happy in oneself." So he's saying that Krishna said that, "Oh Arjuna, the person has to give up all the desires and he should accept everything with the prasada buddhi, and he should be happy within himself. He should not depend upon any object or any other person. He should be happy within himself. That person is said to be the one with the certain knowledge. That is the person." He replied. Krishna replied. Now what happened, we'll see in the next mantra. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिर्यते. Krishna still explaining to Arjuna. What Krishna said was, "O Arjuna, the person who is unaffected by anything, even though he get any issues, whether it can be happy situations or tough situations or anything, when that person is unaffected by all these things, and who is earning for pleasures, and who is free from longing or fear and anger." So the person who is who overcomes this bondage of samsara. Bondage of samsara means whether it is happiness or sadness, without taking a revenge, without getting any anger on that other person, by overcoming all these things. So, and accepting everything as with a karma yoga attitude. And the person, when that person is staying firmly and steadily, that person is said to be a wise person. So when that wise person, when he will be called as a wise person, when that person is unaffected by all these things, and who overcomes this fear and anger, and who is unaffected by anything, and who don't have any desires, only that person is called as a wise person. Then for that person, this self knowledge is definitely possible. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. We'll move to the next mantra. Yah sarvatrani यः सर्वत्रानभिरस्ते हस्त तत्प्राप्त शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Now Krishna was still explaining to Arjuna. What he said was, the person who is unattached in all the situations, whether it is a pleasant situation, or it's a hated unhappy situation, which is an unpleasant situation, when that person is accepting all these kind of situations, and when that person is happy in all any kind of situations. When that person is strong enough to handle any kind of situation, only for that person this self knowledge is well established. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. We'll move to the next mantra. Yada samharate chayam kurmagnaaniva sarvashah indriyan indriyartebhyah stasya prajna pratishtita. Now Krishna explained to Arjuna that, O Arjuna, when a person withdraw his limbs like a turtle, and when a person is able to completely withdraw all the sense organs from the sense objects, for him this knowledge will be steady. So it is similar to the what we have spoken till now. So Krishna is explaining that, O Arjuna, when that person is completely withdrawn, whether it may be any desires, or it may be any anger or any kind of complex. So when he overcome all these complexes, and when he withdraw all the desires of any object, or it may be any person, when the person overcome from all this bondage of samsara, only for that kind of person this self knowledge can be gained, and it will be steady, and it will be very well established. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. We'll move to the next mantra. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Here Krishna was saying to Arjuna that for the person who doesn't feed the senses come back to oneself by longing remaining behind. So Krishna said to Arjuna that, O Arjuna, when the person overcome from all these kind of complexes, so then whatever he give, if he follow in a karma yoga attitude, then this self knowledge is possible, and it will be very well established. Then he will be definitely seen that Brahman. What is Brahman? I, the Atma, is nothing but Brahman, which is the permanent. And all this bondage of samsara, all these things can be able to overcome only when he follow this karma yoga attitude. Then finally he will definitely achieve this Brahman, which is the ultimate moksha. Then this bondage of samsara will definitely goes away. Then he will not be born again. He will remain in the Swargaloka, which is the ultimate moksha. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna. We'll move to the last mantra of today's class. Yatato hyapi kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabham manaha. Here Krishna said to Arjuna that even if a person who make effort to see the things clearly, his powerful senses forcefully take his mind away. So here Krishna was saying to Arjuna that, O Arjuna, even if the person make so much effort to see the things clearly, but this powerful senses, our senses are very powerful. They will forcefully take their minds away. So the person has to stay firmly and steadily. Only then he will be able to gain this self knowledge. Otherwise, this senses forcefully take their minds away. So the person has to be steady and firm with a complete focus, and completely withdraw all the desires, and overcome from all these complexes. Only for that person and he should be able to cross any kind of situation with a strong willpower. Only then this self knowledge is possible, and he will be taking this moksha, which is the ultimate end. So that's what Krishna said to Arjuna. So we are done with the today's class. In the next class, we will see other few mantras. Thank you all for joining. I'll close this with a closing prayer. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्छते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ